different prep lists and produce prep lists. That's the version that needs to be isolated from everything else.
Hey guys, MrKnifeFanatic here. Today we have the Takeda stainless clad large Nakiri. Takeda knives are some of our favorite on Chef's Knives To Go. They're known for having a very high level of fit and finish, and just new to the website, they're offering the stainless clad Karuchi finish knife. So as usual, here's the specs and cutting performance. In the core, we have Aogami Super or Hitachi Blue Super Core. This is going to take a very steep edge with lots of tungsten and added vanadium for wear resistance. 63 plus Rockwell, even though it is not listed on the website. Very hard stuff, very wear resistant, excellent stuff, some of the best kitchen knife steel on the market. As we said before, it is a stainless Karuchi finish. The Karuchi black finish here is very highly polished, very smooth. This is not going to wear off like a lacquer Karuchi finish, and being stainless, there should be no reactivity underneath this to make it fall off. So if you take care of this knife, this finish should last the life of the knife. We have an octagonal handle with rosewood and ebony ferrule here. Extremely tight fit and finish on this yet again. And something that Takeda likes to do here, a little different, is they cover the entire front of your ferrule here with an epoxy. This prevents any moisture from getting in there and potentially rusting the tang of your blade. This is an added step that most makers really don't do. I haven't really seen it on another maker yet. I like that a lot. Overall fit and finish of this blade is just really nice. There's something special about this knife when you hold it. It is a lot different than any other Karuchi knife you've picked up before. I believe Adam Marr did state that there is something special about Takeda knives. The blade length is 168 on the edge, 170 a little bit higher up. I can actually put a ruler on that for you. I imagine they're going to sell this as a 170 millimeter Nakiri, although it's not listed on the website that way. As you can see here, we're just a little bit shy of 170. And the height, 56 plus millimeters. This is actually quite tall, very tall knife here. I like them around, my Gyuto's around 50 millimeters. This happens to be even a little taller than what I prefer, but this is going to be a little fun to try out today, won't it? So if we can see there, 56 tall. Very good knuckle clearance. You have a very big hand, or you're looking for maybe a short cleaver. A lot of people always say, I want a small cleaver, I want a short cleaver. Well, large Nakiri is where you're aiming for. We have 3 millimeter spine, and it actually does not last very long. I believe it's maybe just right out of the tang here. The knife does have a continual distal taper up to the tip. It only gets, I would say, just a hair under 2 millimeters by the time you get to the tip. It is still fairly thin overall, at 147 grams. This is going to be able to be used all day without a whole lot of fatigue. Something we had a discussion about before was whether you would use a Gyuto or a Nakiri for vegetable prep, and in some cases when doing large cases of mushrooms and other things such as large quantity of vegetable prep, this is a lighter knife, a little bit easier to wield. If you're not going to be using tip work, Nakiri will save you a lot of fatigue. The balance point we expect to be blade heavy. That's going to be good because we like lots of chopping power. And as you can see, this is going to be in front of your pinch grip just a little bit. Pinch grip's going to go about right behind where the balance point is. So it'll be slightly blade heavy even in a pinch. Excellent for chopping power. The grind is a 50-50 flat to Scandi grind. You can see there is a little bit of taper as the flat goes down. And I guess where we get into call it Scandi grind is because right here, you can see this is the actual edge of the knife. Believe it or not, you sharpen it directly on this line, which is actually a really cool feature. It's kind of a built-in sharpening guide. I really haven't measured that. I'm going to tell you it's under 15 degrees. These things take a spooky sharp edge. Takeda definitely does an excellent heat treat. With some people, you could say Takeda has a bit of a cult following, and for good reason. These knives, definitely, it just has this very good, solid feel in your hand. Something you don't really feel on a lot of blades the same way. Excellent. So let's get some ingredients on the board here. Pardon me if I yell in pain at any point. I just broke my toe earlier today. So I'm having a little pain standing up for us. So there we go. I have not cut anything with this knife at all yet. I'm just going to get used to the weight of it on some celery real quick. Now let's see, and chop a little bit with it. And this is the factory edge, by the way, out of the box edge. I estimated it to be 4,000 to 5,000 grit out of the box at least. Extremely sharp out of the box, very well done edge. At this price point, you know, you would expect a very sharp edge, and they surely do not disappoint. Oh yeah, very, very nice. This knife has a little bit of belly to it towards the tip. This is definitely desirable in a knife that has a flatter profile. As you try to chop, you know, you think maybe you want a completely flat knife, but I can tell you when you pick up and set down, you may accidentally hit a corner here or hit the back corner and sticks into the board. You can actually break the corners of the knife. So by adding a gentle sweep to it, you don't really have to worry about that. And believe me, you're not going to miss any board contact at all at any point in this blade. You can see you can chop with every part of the blade and not miss at all. And by the way, it's flying through that celery like nobody's business. Well, let's see, I need a little bowl here to put my ingredients in. There we go, I made almost every single one in there. That was a slick move. Let's not do that again. Messy. So here we are with an onion. Typically, you may not do a dice with it by doing your horizontal cuts and your verticals with Nakiris. I'm not sure how most people are comfortable with that, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it out right now and see how it does. Flips through very easy. Are you kidding me? Wow. Now look how clean that onion is right now. It's ready to be diced. Well, that's all that was on the knife. That says a lot about the food release. That says a lot about the grind, the edge. That was excellent. That actually does better than most Kyotos I've used. Here we are. Like butter. Are you kidding me? That is just something else. Wow. Adam Marr said there's something special about these knives, and I certainly agree. This is not the first Takeda knife I've ever used. It's the first video I believe I've done with a Takeda knife. And hopefully a lot of what you pick up on this video, and if you can pick up some of the features on it and just the overall maybe feel of the knife, it will transfer to other Takeda knives. Most Takeda knives generally have the same type of grind. They all have the same type of edge that you sharpen straight onto the bevel. They're about the same thickness. They all have the same fit and finish. So maybe if I don't get to do a video with another one of Takeda's knives, you'll be able to tell a little bit about one of his knives from this video. You can see that it fell right off of there. A bit of a tall onion here. Let's see how it chops through a taller ingredient. That is incredibly good. I really can't get over that. I did not expect this knife to do that well. Wow. That is incredibly good. That is incredibly good. This is one of the best Nakiris I've used, hands down. Food penetration on it, it just drops right through like butter. If you can see the release, it's coming in and out of those cuts with no sticking at all. It just releases like nothing. I really am truly impressed by that. You know, normally we always look for a convex grind. You think a flat ground knife, you know, oh, flat ground knife, nothing, no special in the grind. No, this was done right. So definitely very good. I will say through an onion and the celery that this beat just about every other Nakiri that I got to. Getting to the carrot, you can see it still slides through very easy. I would say a Nakiri with a more convex grind might do a little bit better, and we're splitting hairs here against a harder ingredient such as this. But I mean, as you can see, very thin slices and it pushed through with no trouble. I mean, if that's not good enough for you, hey, get a new knife. No, this is awesome through that. But I would say maybe like a Masakage Yuki did a little bit better against the carrot than this. But I feel that this did better against an onion and celery. Well, I'll wrap the video up with a little bit of mushrooms here. As you can see, no sticking of the mushroom there. I mean, that comes right off. Mushrooms do tend to stick to your blade. Oh, that's very good. Let's do a couple more. Now, as I said before, we had a little bit of a discussion on Chef Knives to Go forum about if you would like to use a gyuto, which a gyuto, or a chef's knife, is, you know, your most versatile knife. You have the tip to use. Let's just pull one out. You have a lot more tip area here to get into ingredients such as dicing an onion, but if you saw earlier, the corner of this can be used just, you know, almost identically to the chef's knife. You have an incredibly large scooping surface here. You also don't have the weight of the tip of this knife to swing around. When you're chopping, you're only chopping with this much of a knife as opposed to something much longer. So, in the case of doing a whole case of mushrooms, which in a restaurant, a case is a big case of mushrooms, pull out your Nakiri, you have a lot less weight to deal with, a lot less fatigue, and you know, they're just really great to keep in your kit. And honestly, who doesn't want a short cleaver like this? That is just an awesome, fun knife to have, really. So, I know that Takeda had very good knives. I hate to say that I was surprised by the performance because they've always blown me away. I shouldn't have been surprised. This thing did very, very well. I'm incredibly impressed by Mr. Takeda's knives. So, guys, thank you for watching. Please check in at chefknivesToGoForum.com if you have any questions or want some tips on sharpening or cutting. And as always, stay tuned and stay sharp.